Hello everyone, and welcome to Dino Draws Dinos, in which Dino draws dinos in alphabetical order. Today, we will be looking at the Aepyornithomimus, which was an ostrich-looking theropod that lived in the Campanian stage of the late Cretaceous period in Mongolia. If this dino had a voice, it would sound like...
Oh my gosh, yes, I did look at that before, but I didn't know it was a big thing. I mostly watch zombie movies, so I didn't really know that these, zombie war movies or anything. I just like to say the classics,
etc. The name means Aepyornis mimic, which is honestly kind of rude. Imagine if people said that you were plagiarizing this person that you never even met because you don't even live remotely near each other. Once, this dinosaur was on a cheerleading team. They joined it recently, but they practiced all the time, way before they even got the courage to finally join. They'd made a lot of good friends on the team, like Catherine, who was obviously amazing at it, and Frank, though it was a little tough for him because Frank is the man that always stands, so he's not very dexterous. They finally, after months of training, were allowed to play at a football game. The team got to the big grassy field early, and set down their cooler, and practiced their numbers a little before everyone else arrived. Before the games actually began, the Aepyornithomimus and the rest of the team did a routine they had practiced to a T, and witnessing the cheerleaders on the opposite side, it was clear they had as well. After their team was done, it was finally time for the actual game to start. Everything was going fine until the first time someone got knocked over. It was for the Aepyornithomimus' team, so they were supposed to do a cheer like they had planned, but they just couldn't bring themselves to do it. The whole cheerleading team didn't really get football. They just liked the spirit. But when they saw that people acted like it was a beautiful thing, hurting each other like that, they all froze and just stood. Other than Frank, who was always standing to begin with. The whole team cartwheeled out of the field and talked about what they could do. They all loved cheerleading so much, but now when they were cheering for, something they didn't like. With all this in mind, they went down to the cafe. They all ordered their usual drinks and snacks, a strawberry mango lemon smoothie with pineapple on the side for the Aepyornithomimus, and they got their mind off of things by talking about anime. And as they took their mind off of things by talking about anime, they noticed the strong lack of other patrons at the cafe. Catherine asked the bartender, who also happened to be the owner of the establishment, about this. They said they didn't really know why, but they did notice that they hadn't been getting a lot of customers lately. Thoughts swirled in the Aepyornithomimus' mind, since if there were no customers, that meant no more cafe, which meant no more friendly staff and smoothies. Suddenly, an idea came to them.
Guys, what if we cheerleaded for this cafe?
Frank, who was standing on his seat, looked a little confused, but then smiled, since he too was enjoying his tea too much to lose a cafe, and also really enjoyed the relaxing atmosphere of the shop. The rest of the team looked to do the same thing, and Catherine put his hand at the center of the table, and after politely asking the bartender permission, of which he was granted, looked at everyone else on the team. Everyone smiled and put their hands in, and they all cheered happily. It has now been several months since that football game, and the team is still cheering for that small cafe, which is actually having a delightful number of regulars now, giving each performance all their might. Whether it's singing in a choir, trying to be a video game boss, running in a football field in the sun, or making and performing energizing routines in front of a cafe that makes you happy, I think you should do it, since there is no point in wasting your life doing something you don't. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, my beautifully handcrafted quilts. I hope you liked my drawing, and I hope to see you again next time. This has been Dino Draws Dinos.
Oh.